In terms of what abstract means to me, it's probably a different sort of question I'd want to answer, really, is why I started with abstract. And bearing in mind, I've only been now painting for 3 years. Abstract to me was just an entry level into doing something. And it was easy. When I presented some of my pieces to some of my closest of friends, it was somewhat rebuked because it was just throwing paint at pages of paper. So I was disheartened for a start, but then buoyed up by the fact that art is very subjective. Some people liked it, some people hated it like Marmite, and some people would actually say I was rather a fraud in terms of trying to emulate styles of notable artists. So abstract to me was just a pure entry level in terms of the start of the journey. Rather than actually understanding what abstract is, it was a vehicle to get started. I think my attitude to abstract now is it has changed over the 3 years. I often flinch at some of the crude drawings and images I've created, but people like them. I replicate them. There's more thought now in terms of looking at composition and structure, whereas before it was just a massive colour. And those colours were representative of fields of summer flowers, the setting of the sun, the hazy summer days. People absolutely adored them. So now when I'm asked to do the piece, yes, they are joyous pieces, they are head turners. But for me, there's a lot more thought and consideration going into the structure and the composition. In producing the abstract, and bearing in mind I said this was an entry piece, the abstract work I do relish doing are the summer scenes. So they are either hints of a hazy summer's day or a bright, full sun. And then it's the layers now. So that's where the intelligence, if there is an intelligence coming in, where you start with the background and you purposely looking at tonal colours for the background and the gradation from greens to yellows to blues, and then applying grasses. And the grasses having lots and lots of movement, because I think the early abstract pieces I did were very static, even though they are 2D. There was no depth and there was no structure. Whereas but now there's textures, because these are very, very tactile pieces, especially with regard to the applications of pastes and oils on top of the flat acrylics. And to some people's distaste, there's a little bit of iridescence in there and a little bit of glitter. So everything has a bit of bling. And I think the bling is really dictated by the customer, because what I do now, the palettes, whereas before it would be every conceivable paint colour I had, the palettes are now picked by the client and the commission. So in that is a challenge, because you don't have the freedom of picking the ambience. So yeah, they've come on leaps and bounds. Am I comfortable doing them? Yes, I am. There is a place that I can retire to when I don't necessarily need to think unduly with regard to composition, because these are now free-flowing pieces.